Now at 9, Missouri Southern hosts a 5K puppy run for students on campus. Plus, Carthage High School students hold an annual mattress sale. And the Wildwood Baptist Church held its annual car, truck, and bike show for the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Cale Chapman. Students in Missouri Southern State University's kinesiology department hosted their annual 5K run earlier today. This year's 5K was puppy run themed. Runners could enter the race individually or race alongside their furry friends. The department teamed up with Golden Paw Adoption Center and Sanctuary to bring dogs for people to play, run, or walk with. The run is organized every year to remember Lori Flugg, who graduated from MSSU in 1986.
My students every semester or every year in the practicum and wellness class, they put on this 5K. It gives them real world experience about how an event actually works. It's not just you wake up and you decide, oh, we're going to run a 5K today. There's a lot of work that goes behind it. So this is the culmination of all their semester's hard work.
The race was held at Leggett and Platt Athletic Center. The Carthage High School Band Program hosted their 4th annual mattress sale today up at Carthage High School. Band members sold deals on over 20 styles of name brand mattresses, all of which were on display for local shoppers. Profits from the sale went directly back to the band program.
Funds that we raise today will help us in the fall when we do marching season. We have many things that we have to purchase for our field show competition, our field show itself. We have props and just different things, also feeding the kids at different times.
The sale was one day only and ended this evening. A local church hosted a car show in honor of a late car enthusiast. KOAM's Shagun Bomdeli was there and has more.
The Larry Mills Memorial Car Show is an annual event that celebrates the life and legacy of Larry Mills, a well-respected car enthusiast who passed away. The car show is used to raise money for summer camps and mission trips.
About 12 years ago, my husband loved cars and had started showing cars in local car show, his car in local car shows, and he said, I would love to have a car show at our church.
Laura says all the proceeds goes towards helping kids.
All of the proceeds go towards our kids, particularly the kids that can't afford to go to church camp in the summer or to go on the mission trip to help fund their trip.
People could vote on which cars they love the most.
So they just look at the cars. They can vote to see, they can vote on which one is their favorite. And then we also have some judges that are going to vote or to judge the cars. And then at the end of the day, we'll give some awards out.
Laura tells me about our favorite car.
Well, I'm biased. I have my car here, and it's my favorite. But so I'll leave it at that. It's hard to pick favorites.
Reporting in Joplin, Shagun Bomdeli, KOAM News.
A total of 67 cars attended the show. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us now for a first look at the weather.
And boy, what a beautiful day it was to have a car show outside, or anything outside really for that matter. Radar is clear right now and will continue to be so this evening. Expanding it out, there's no precipitation really anywhere in the 4-state area. Allergies, though, they've been a little bit of a problem today. 10.4. Tomorrow just a hair better at 9.9. Most of that is oak, mulberry, and walnut pollens. And we're looking at temperatures falling through the 50s into the 40s tonight, all the way down to 37 by tomorrow morning. And looking down the lane, it looks like we're going to have some more cool mornings ahead with sunny on your Monday, a dry period through most of the week, and then some storms late Wednesday into early Thursday. And I'll have more on that in just a little while.
The State Department confirms a second U.S.-led convoy has evacuated private citizens from Sudan. The convoy arrived in Port Sudan on Sunday. Some of those leaving Sudan will head to Saudi Arabia, while others will receive help in other destinations. The State Department says nearly 1,000 Americans have left Sudan since the conflict broke out in the country. The United States says other U.S. allies have helped evacuate some Americans. A North Carolina teacher is sharing her harrowing journey of escaping Sudan. Deanna Welker, a teacher at an international school in Khartoum, is now home safe. But she's blaming the U.S. Embassy in Sudan for leaving her behind. Welker said she was trapped in her apartment for 2 days after the fighting started. She and 24 other teachers decided to leave in the middle of the night and get a hotel, which after a couple days told them to leave. Welker said U.S. helicopters evacuated the staff but refused to rescue the teachers. President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is due in court in Arkansas on Monday over a child support dispute. The case could shed light into Hunter's finances as he faces investigation from House Republicans. Fox News correspondent CB Cotton has that story.
All eyes will be on an Arkansas courthouse Monday for a hearing where embattled first son Hunter Biden is supposed to appear. Hunter Biden and his ex, London Roberts, had previously reached an agreement on child support terms, but last fall when Biden filed a motion to get his payments lowered, the saga picked back up once again. Now, back in 2019, a DNA test showed with near scientific certainty that Biden is indeed the father of London Roberts' 4-year-old daughter. Now, Roberts is suing Biden, her legal team arguing that if Biden can afford multiple attorneys, he, quote, must have income for child support purposes, end quote. Roberts has also accused Biden of failing to honor court-imposed deadlines and failing to provide evidence of his finances. This week, a judge denied a last-ditch effort by Biden's attorneys, asking Biden be permitted to attend the hearing via phone or video conference. This child support dispute may allow us to learn more about Biden's finances. He's been under federal investigation since at least 2018. We know U.S. Attorney David Weiss in Delaware is looking into his tax affairs, overseas business dealings, and lying on a federal form to purchase a gun. Of note, Biden's attorneys were at the Justice Department headquarters on Wednesday to get a status update on that investigation. House Oversight Committee Chairman Republican James Comer, who's leading another investigation into the Biden family's business dealings, had this critique about Hunter Biden's paternity case.
The fact that Hunter's in court in Arkansas this next week arguing that he can't afford child support payments, and we've seen millions and millions of dollars deposited into Hunter Biden's account, says a lot about this family.
In December, London Roberts' lawyers filed a motion to have her daughter's last name changed to Biden. Biden's attorneys have called that request, quote, political warfare and want proof the name change would be in the child's best interest. A bench trial for Hunter Biden's paternity case is scheduled for July, but again, next steps for this case are set to unfold on Monday. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox News.
Coming up, we'll take a look at some heart-healthy diets and hear from some experts on the benefits. As the weather warms up, many Americans are turning to crash diets to get their bodies summer ready. Fox's Richard Giacobas has more on the best diet to stay heart-healthy.
Fad diets are always trending, especially when you have a celebrity who tells you how or what to eat. Keto and paleo diets seem to be the fastest way to lose weight these days. But according to the American Heart Association, neither is necessarily heart healthy and can lead to an increase in LDL, or bad cholesterol.
This increase in so-called bad cholesterol will increase our risk of developing heart disease. And that risk is approximately twofold. So people who have the diet of a ketogenic, kind of principle will increase your risk of having a heart attack, a stroke.
Keto limits carbohydrate intake to less than 10% of one's daily calories, but is high in fat. Paleo excludes whole and refined grains, beans, oils, and all dairy. Nutritionists say there's a reason why they work fast when one is looking to drop the pounds.
When you look at the things you're cutting out, and then what you're left with, the types of foods you're left with, it's essentially more animal type foods, foods that are higher in protein, like beef and poultry. Not that those are bad for you, but they do typically contain more saturated fat.
The best option, according to both doctors and dietitians, is the Mediterranean diet, a diet that emphasizes fruits and vegetables, as well as whole grains, fish, and olive oil.
It focuses on omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation and help reduce the overall risk of developing heart disease. It focuses on high fiber, which helps our gut bacteria.
The Mediterranean diet is probably the fan favorite among most dietitians. The Mediterranean diet is for sure a winner if you're looking for a pattern that's easy, sustainable, and will promote heart health.
The Mediterranean diet may also help with another health condition. A new study finds following the Mediterranean diet, which is based on eating whole grain, fish, fruits, and olive oil, can lower the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. A team of British researchers analyzed blood tests and the self-reported diet habits of more than 340,000 people. The researchers used the blood test to look at the levels of biomarkers or fatty acids and developed an overall score. They found that participants who biomarker score show that they followed a Mediterranean diet were less likely to develop type 2 diabetes. Sam is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, relief at the pump as gas prices begin to go down again. We'll take a look at where the price stands now and where it's going.
Well, friends, we had another gorgeous day here in the 4 states with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures. A little bit on the cool side this morning. In fact, let's take a look outside this morning at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, and we go through that in motion, and you can see as we went through the day, mostly fair skies, and then a few cumulus clouds built up during the afternoon, but once the sun went down, those went away as well, and now we're left with mostly fair skies, and that's going to allow temperatures to drop quite a bit again tonight. This afternoon, we made it up to 64 after starting out at 40 degrees, which was only 6 degrees away from the record set back in 2005, but here's a record we don't like to set. We ended up with April less than 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, and that's almost 4 1/4 inches below normal, and we're about 4 inches below normal for the year, and this is the wet season, so we definitely don't want to go into summer on the low side, and that's exactly where we're headed. In fact, April's going to end up being the 3rd driest April in Joplin history, so those are not the records we like to set. Winds today were on the light side for the most part, but tomorrow morning we're going to see the winds pick up again, especially up towards the north and east with winds around 25 to 30 miles per hour. And then as we head through the afternoon, those winds will start to slacken off just a little bit, but just keep in mind if you have any fire outside, that could be a problem. Radar is clear right now. We're not expecting any precipitation. In fact, you look across the country, really not a whole lot going on in the Central Plains. We have to go all the way out into the Pacific Ocean before we start to see the next storm system. This is starting to make its way towards California, but it's going to take a few days before it gets here, and until then, we've got a stretch of nice weather ahead of us. Temperatures right now are generally in the 50s and 60s on northwest winds, but look at these dew points. In the 20s, so bone dry air right now. 21 in Anderson, 23 in Cassville, a little bit better in Mount Vernon with 32, but still very dry. In Joplin right now, mostly fair skies, 58 degrees, northwest wind at 14. Dew point is 28, humidity 32%. And in Pittsburgh, you see the flag flying there. Northwest wind at 6, 56 degrees, and a dew point of 27. Temperatures tonight are going to drop down through the 40s into the 30s once again in the morning, upper 30s for the most part with northwest winds. Then tomorrow, a carbon copy of today with temperatures in the mid-60s, upper 60s out towards the west with northwesterly winds. The northwest flow continues into Tuesday morning with lows again in the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then Tuesday afternoon looks great as well with highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s with those north winds continuing. Then Wednesday we start to see the winds turn around more to the easterly direction with lows in the lower 40s across the area. Rainfall amounts with the next storm system are going to be highest up towards the north, but generally everywhere is going to be maybe a third, a quarter of an inch. Certainly not enough to break the drought situation, unfortunately. Temperatures are going to be warm across the middle part of the country for the 8 to 14 day period. And if we take a look at precipitation, it's going to be primarily dry over the Great Lakes and maybe some showers in the Central Plains. And that's in our forecast as well. As we look at the next 7 to 10 days, nice weather all the way up until Thursday with more storms possible on Thursday into Friday. And then Saturday, maybe some scattered showers, and then maybe unsettled next week. But Cale, we definitely need some rainfall around here or it's going to get pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, right now we're sitting okay, but hopefully that rain can come in because I'm concerned about where we're headed.
The ranchers and farmers desperately need the rainfall, so hopefully we'll get it.
All righty. Well, thank you, Sam. Coming up, what are Americans now doing instead of buying new homes and why it could save you a penny? The American dream of home ownership is getting harder for some because of one financial reason. The Mortgage Bankers Association says the cost of the average mortgage per month is approaching $2,000. That makes it about $1,000 a month more than renting. In key cities like Boston, Seattle, and Austin, renting can be cheaper than a mortgage. Housing experts suggest not spending more than 28% of your monthly income on housing and to spend less than 36% of it on all total debts. A lot of house hunters in the United States aren't even waiting for houses to hit the market before they try to snap them up. A phenomenon is known as the secret property market. Buyers and their agents are actually contacting homeowners whose homes aren't even listed. They reach out through cold calls, Instagram messages, and handwritten notes requesting to buy the properties. Experts say more and more homes are beginning to be sold this way. AAA reports the national average price for a gallon of regular gas dropped a nickel since last week to $3.63. It follows lower oil prices. The Motor Club says demand for gas has increased while supply decreased. AAA says normally this would cause prices to rise, but fluctuating oil prices have pushed them lower. It says if oil prices continue to decline, gas prices will likely also go down. The current average of $3.63 is 20 cents higher than a month ago, but 50 cents less than a year ago. Up next, Ranch Doritos lovers will now be able to enjoy them in a brand new way, but it's only for a limited time. Papa John's is using a classic chip flavor for its new Papadilla. The pizza chain announced its partnership with Doritos to create the Cool Ranch Papadilla. Papa John's says the new item will have a choice of chicken, beef, or steak and will be dusted with, quote, bold ranch seasoning. The Cool Ranch Papadilla will be available May 4th to July 23rd. We've got 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, St. Louis residents are now in fear of their safety regarding public transportation after a shooting. We'll have those details. Some Metro riders in the St. Louis area say they're afraid for their safety after one person was shot and killed on a Metro train yesterday. John Kipper reports.
They got all the gang banging and whatever. It's open. It's just open to do anything to you.
Gwendolyn Jones was waiting for the Metro this afternoon. She takes it out of necessity, but doesn't believe it's safe.
Trash on it, beat people up on it. All kind of things happen on it. It's not safe at all.
On Saturday morning, St. Louis County Police say two men got into an argument on the Metrolink. Eventually, there was gunfire. One man is dead, and another is in custody. In a statement from Kevin B. Scott, General Manager for Security at Bi-State Development, he says we're disappointed when any incident happens in our city or on our transit system, but we cannot prevent the crime occurring in the region from spilling over on our transit system. Riders we spoke with say when they're on the Metro, it can be totally unpredictable. Sometimes they feel safe. Other times,
yeah, I ran across some crazy people on the bus before and didn't know what was going to happen,
Metro says improvements are coming. That includes new video surveillance, fencing, and these turnstiles planned for all 38 stations.
Now, currently you cannot bring a gun onto the Metro, but that could change as the Missouri House recently passed a bill allowing concealed carry holders to bring a firearm onto the Metro. People had mixed feelings about that.
That's adding to the problem. Yeah. No, that's the wrong thing.
What happened to this guy today? If he'd had a gun, he'd probably have been able to protect himself.
The Senate would still need to pass that bill in the final 2 weeks of the legislative session.
This all comes as Metro Transit is seeking to hire around 200 new drivers to fill vacant positions, and they've been forced to cut routes to ensure reliable service. An 18-year-old is in police custody in Richmond, Virginia after he allegedly shot 2 students outside his high school. One of those students is in critical condition. The shooting happened last Thursday at George Wythe High School. The gunman had eluded authorities, and U.S. Marshals arrested David Gutierrez without incident yesterday. Investigators say Gutierrez is a student at the school. He's charged with attempted murder and weapons violations. Police say their investigation is still in its early stages. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us now.
All right, we had a beautiful day across the 4 states. Nothing on radar right now, not really expected to see anything. In fact, it's clear all across the region in the South Central Plains. We do have some allergies to deal with, though. Today was 10.4. Tomorrow, a little bit better. Most of it is oak, mulberry, and walnut pollen. And we're looking at temperatures falling through the 50s into the 40s, all the way down to the upper 30s by tomorrow morning with mostly fair skies. And looking down the lane, we're going to have some cool mornings ahead with a sunny Monday. And then we're going to have a dry period, continues, and then some thunderstorms roll in late Wednesday into early Thursday. And I'll have all the details on that in just a little while.
Parts of Utah are under flood watches as water levels are rising in the Beehive State due to the warm spring temperatures melting record snow there. Officials now bringing in some heavy-duty help to clean up blocked waterways. Video you see here shows the Utah County Sheriff's Office and the state's Transportation Department teaming up to use explosives to clear branches and leaves that were clogging the flow of water in a creek. Recovery has started in a small town in the Florida Panhandle devastated by a tornado. Drone video showed just how widespread the damage is in Hosford, which is less than an hour's drive outside of Tallahassee. The storm ripped roofs off homes, dumped debris and uprooted trees. Fox Weather's Brandy Campbell has more from Hosford as the people who live there begin to pick up the pieces.
Well, I'm in Hosford, Florida, where one of several tornadoes passed through between Georgia and Florida on Thursday. This is just a small town about 40 minutes west of Tallahassee, and where I'm standing is where the worst of the damage was done in this town, according to the National Weather Service, and preliminarily they found this to be an EF2 tornado. Now, residents that were here that I've spoken with, they're saying the same thing. They're grateful despite the damage that was done.
I'm thankful we're alive. I don't care nothing about this. I'm just thankful me and her are alive.
Yes, everyone is okay. Yeah, it's the material things that are lost, and that is okay.
Now, if you take a look behind me, you can see some of the damage. It's really hard to tell exactly what was what for this family home right here, but as we turn around, you can see even behind them, their property, a lot of the trees were snapped in half. You can see insulation just covering a lot of it. And then off to my left, you can see this is another family home where a couple was actually trapped here. The roof is gone and the inside of their home is just completely exposed. Now, the National Weather Service found most of the damage to be along the state road that these homes are off of. Going back into the center of town, there are lots of snapped and uprooted trees, some outbuildings destroyed, and minor roof damage throughout town. In response to this, several agencies were here on Friday clearing debris, which was largely trees, trying to make way for people to access their property. Now, I know power, I just checked on that, that's essentially restored. I know you said there's maybe like 1 or 2 homes that they're having to, do a few more things to get them restored. What else needs to be done?
Well, the biggest thing is just a cleanup, like they're doing here, what you've just witnessed. People cleaning up the yards, getting it all done, and then we can haul it away. The county has been very gracious, and we're going to be able to haul this away to a site so it's out of the way of the residents, and we can get back to a normal life eventually.
In Hosford, Florida, I'm Brandy Campbell, Fox Weather.
Still ahead, we'll take a look at how old and vacant buildings are getting a second chance at life.
Well, folks, we ended April with another beautiful day across the 4 states with lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, a little bit chilly this morning. Right now, though, at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort in Seneca, Missouri, beautiful sunset shaping up across the area. You can see a few high clouds way off in the distance, but that is about it. This afternoon, we made it up to 64. We did start out at a chilly 40 degrees, which was 6 degrees away from the record set back in 2005. And look at the month on the rainfall. Over 4 inches behind on the month, and then for the year we're about 4 inches behind as well. So it's been a dry spring so far, and that is not good as we head towards the summer months. In fact, April of this year is going to go down as the 3rd driest April in Joplin history. Winds today were a little bit strong this morning, but they've slackened off a little bit this afternoon and evening. But tomorrow the winds are going to be back again, especially up towards the north and east where wind speeds could be around 25 to 30 miles per hour. So please be careful with any outdoor flames. Then as we go through the evening hours, the winds will start to slacken up just a little bit. Radar is clear, not just here, but across most of the central United States. We're looking way off to the west into the Pacific Ocean where the next storm system is starting to make its way onshore, but it's going to take its time getting here, and that means we're going to have a stretch of nice weather, but dry weather. And temperatures right now are in the 50s and 60s with northwesterly winds, so a very pleasant evening. Very bone dry though. Look at these dew points in the 20s out there, 24 in Iola and also in Fort Scott, so very, very dry air in place. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 53. Northwest wind at 8 and the dew point is 28 and the humidity low at 38%. And in Pittsburgh, 54 degrees, northwest wind at 5 and the humidity at 36%. Temperatures tonight are going to drop down through the 40s into the 30s by morning, upper 30s for the most places with northwesterly winds. Then as we go through the day tomorrow, basically a carbon copy of today with a little bit more temperatures in the 60s. low 60s off towards the east and upper 60s out towards the west. Then as we go into Tuesday morning, chilly once again with lows in the 30s once again, maybe some frost in some of those sheltered valleys. But then Tuesday afternoon, beautiful. Temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s with northwest winds. Then as we go into Wednesday morning, the winds are going to turn around more to the north and east, and as a result, our lows will not be quite as chilly, but still cool, low 40s across the area. Rainfall amounts with the next storm system are probably going to be highest up towards the north, and unfortunately, with every run of the model, the precipitation amounts are going down, and that is not what we want to see. Right now, we're thinking around 1/4 of an inch across the area, and if we look at the next 8 to 14 days, we're going to be kind of on the dry side with maybe some scattered showers here and there. Over the next 7 days, here's your forecast. Breezy tomorrow, 65 degrees. Then Tuesday, 68. Wednesday, 73. Scattered storms on Thursday, especially Thursday night into Friday morning, and those storms could continue into Saturday, and then we have more chances of rain early next week. Hopefully, we're going to see a reversal in this pattern where we'll have a trough on the west coast, and that will spit pieces of energy at us, which will increase our rain chances. And goodness knows, we certainly need the rainfall across the area.
Yeah, we really do. It is dry as all get out.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you, Sam. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch Weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Once again, that's the KOAM Skywatch Weather app. Coming up in sports, it's Championship Sunday. We'll take a look at how the Missouri Southern Lions softball team did in their biggest game of the season. Plus, Pitt State is looking to lock up third place in the MIAA standings. Highlights from the game today, next in sports.
Well, we've achieved the final weekend of the MIAA regular season. This afternoon was a crucial game for Pittsburg State for the right to take third place in the MIAA. The Gorillas at home trying to win the series finale against Washburn. A win and Pitt State's in third place. A loss, they're in fourth place. To the bottom of the third, Pitt State down 4-0. Austin Workin slices this down the left field line. Joe Hamilton scores. Gorillas get on the board down 4-1. So to the bottom of the fourth we go. Same score. Brevin Lee at the plate keeps this fair down the right field line. 1 run scores, 2 run scores. It's a 2-run double by Lee, and Pitt State's within 1, down 4-3. Jacob Leonard sighting here for a moment. There we go. So to the top of the fifth now. Same score. Washburn's Ike Book gets that through the left side of the infield. RBI single puts the Ichabods up 5-3. So to the bottom of the ninth now. Gorillas down 6-4, strike him out, throw him out play, and that's how this one ends. Washburn comes into Pitt State, winning the series finale 6-4. Gorillas finish in fourth place in the MIAA standings. Pitt State hosts Central Oklahoma next Friday for round 1 of the MIAA tournament. Series finale for Missouri Southern today. The Lions are unable to complete the sweep of Missouri Western. Good news for the Lions is they really had nothing to gain or lose from this matchup. However, Missouri Southern loses the series finale to Mo West 15-4. Matt Miller goes 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Missouri Southern will open the first round of the MIAA tournament against Newman this Friday at 1 p.m. The Missouri Southern Lions are playing one of the biggest games in over 22 years. All the Lions have to do is split the doubleheader between them and Central Oklahoma for at least a share of the MIAA regular season title. In Game 1, the Missouri Southern Lions had trouble getting their offense going, losing to the UCO Broncos 5-2. Emily Perry goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. So in Game 2, it was an absolute heartbreaker for the Lions as they lose to Central Oklahoma 2-1. The game went into extra innings, and it came down to a fielder's choice that did not go the Lions' way. Kara Amos had an unbelievable performance in the circle, going 7 1/3 innings, striking out 4. With that loss, Missouri Southern will finish in second place in the MIAA. They are set to play Emporia State this Wednesday in Topeka for round 1 of the MIAA tournament. Pittsburg State is wrapping up their regular season on the road at Newman in Wichita. The Gorillas scored all of their runs in the first inning of the game. Gorillas win this one 2-0. Sophia Driver goes 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Hannah Harrison pitches a complete game shutout, only allowing 5 hits and striking out 4. Pitt stays unable to complete the sweep, losing Game 2 of their doubleheader 5-4. However, Kiana Pellegrino goes 3 for 3 with a double and 3 RBIs. The Gorillas finish in 10th place in the MIAA this season. That loss really stings because Pitt State is unable to clinch a spot in the MIAA tournament next weekend. While the Royals and Cardinals are both finishing up their long road trips, both squads are trying to pick up a win before they each head home. Cardinals at Dodgers, top of the second. Cardinals up 1-0. Brendan Donovan goes to left field. Alec Burleson scores. Redbirds go up 2-0. Fourth inning now. Game tied at 2. Chris Taylor pulls us down the left field lines. An RBI double. Dodgers go up 3-2. So to the next inning, same score. Lars Nootbaar gets that one through the right side of the infield. Tommy Edmonds scores. And we're tied up 3-3. So to the bottom of the fifth now. Drew Varhagen throws a wild pitch. Will Smith will come in to score. Nothing going right for the Redbirds. Cardinals lose to the Dodgers 6-3. St. Louis gets swept by LA. Royals at the Twins at Target Field. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Twins. Byron Buxton, take a good look. You won't see it for long. That ball finds the third deck. 3-run homer puts the Twins up 4-0. And that's what happens when you hit upper deck shots. You get fishing gear with it. Later in the inning, 6-0 Twins. Christian Vasquez reaches down to put that one to right field. Twins go up 8-0. So we head to the fifth inning now. Same score. Twins have really found something in Sonny Gray. Joey Gallo lays out to make the spectacular play. Royals can't find any momentum. Kansas City loses to Minnesota 8-4. Now BO Sports will be back after this.
The shift to remote or hybrid work has created empty office buildings across the U.S. And instead of tearing them down, some owners and investors are giving them new life. Fox's Joy Addison joins us with more.
Commercial building owners across the country are gutting out empty office buildings just like this one and converting them to residential units. In this building, potentially, you could live here on the 24th floor and work just beneath.
Office building sector, usually supply always keeps going up. You keep building new office buildings, new office buildings. Well, that's stopped right now.
After seeing a rise in office vacancy, Dougal Cameron has designed a plan where people can work, live, and host events right here in Houston's historic Esperson building.
If your office building is vacant, it's a tough time in the marketplace. The other thing that's nice about residential is residential will fill up.
Across the country, office-to-housing conversions are serving as a lifeline for struggling business owners who lost upwards of 20% of their commercial renters during the pandemic.
People that have gotten used to hybrid work or remote work, and so the office demand is down, but yet we've still got really strong demand for residential housing.
Cities like Boston and Seattle are welcoming the conversions, offering contests for the best designs. And cities like New York and Pittsburgh are offering major tax breaks and rezoning areas that have only allowed offices to now include housing.
It makes a more dynamic city if you can have mixed use, if you can have more residential people downtown. I think every city would like to see that, even smaller cities.
While the conversions are reviving downtown areas, helping business owners and providing more residences, Cameron says they're profiting less than desired because renovations can be expensive and many cities are pushing for affordable units that will help attract people towards living downtown.
It is not as lucrative for an office building to be residential, but if your office building's worth nothing, if it's worth zero, then it's a good alternative.
Cameron's plans also include a vertical entrepreneurial village that welcomes startups and allows them to live and work in the same building for an affordable price. The hope is that when these startups become major corporations, they will keep their headquarters right here in the Esperson building. In Houston, Joy Addison, Fox News.
Up next, we'll meet a veteran in Texas that fought for our country and is now being honored with a new home. An organization that builds adaptable and accessible homes for veterans who are injured while serving our country, the Helping Hero Foundation. Olivia Leach introduces us to one of the veterans and his very inspiring story.
When the mountain that you're climbing seems so tall and the battle that you're fighting makes you feel so all alone, doesn't mean you're all
Retired Army Staff Sergeant Travis Strong knows what it's like to face insurmountable obstacles. He lost both of his legs when a bomb hit his vehicle in Iraq during his deployment in 2006. Now he trains other veterans with traumatic injuries in adaptive sports and helps them see that there's life after their injury.
To give back kind of a sense of purpose for some of these guys that have lost purpose, right? They've been told so many times that they can't do this.
Strong, his fiance, and their son rent a home, but he says it can be a challenge to get around in his wheelchair.
It's hard. It's not easy. There's a lot of doorways that I can't get into, a lot of areas that I can't get into in my chair because it's built for normal people.
That's why the Helping a Hero organization, Bass Pro Shops, and Lennar Homes are building Sergeant Strong and his family a home of their own in Hazlet.
It's all about Americans coming together and saying thank you in a tangible way.
1, 2, 3.
It was an emotional day for his family as they broke ground at the site where their new home will be in just a few months.
I don't know how I can thank them enough for this blessing.
The home will have lower countertops, wider doorways, and other features specially made for Sergeant Strong.
Be able to have a home that's fully adaptive to where you can get into every single area, every single doorway in your chair is just huge.
Giving him the independence he's dreamed of.
To be able to have a home, a place that we can call home, and that's ours, it's such a relief.
All right. Well, what a great story. Yeah, that's very touching.
I wish I had some good news as far as the weather goes, because we're going to continue the dry weather for a few more days. We desperately need the rainfall. We're still stuck in the drought situation, but hopefully on Thursday night into Friday, we'll get some storms around here, and that rain will possibly continue into Saturday, and then more storms early next week. So hopefully we're going to go into a phase change and start getting more chances of rain across the areas. We desperately need it.
All right, well, there you go. That's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of a baby black bear at the Virginia Wildlife Center. We'll see you back here next time. Thanks for making us a part of your night.